Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'll be looking at normalization. So normalization simply has to do with volumes. So I'm sure you've probably had a scenario or a situation where you are playing live and you change from one preset to another and the other preset sounds too low or too high, and because of that it doesn't motivate you to play to the best of your abilities, or it's too high that it distorts what you are trying to play. So in this tutorial, we're looking at how to balance the volumes. So basically that's what normalization is. One of the ways to go about it is to look at the volumes on either the amp or the cabinet. Over here my volume is at 79 and my cab has a volume of 62, and then my patch volume is 71. Now when I go to my other presets, which is a much less based preset, the volume over here is at 68 and my cabinet volume is at 50, and then the patch volume is at 50 as well. But the much less preset, this particular much less preset, is quite louder than this particular preset, which is a Fender Deluxe based preset. Let me play a chord. So I'm doing this with the Fender Deluxe. When I change from this particular preset to the much less presets, you realize the volume gets bigger. Back to the Fender Deluxe preset. So basically what I can do to balance or match the volumes on these particular two presets is I can come over here. So like I mentioned earlier, normalization has to do with volumes. So you simply have to balance the volumes to match the entire presets range that you're using. So I can put this at 91 and I think that would solve my problem. So I'll save it and then try it again. Now let me go to the matchless preset. So you realize there isn't so much of a difference when you compare this particular waveform with this. So basically that's one way to achieve normalization between presets. Now let's look at how we are going to achieve normalization within the preset itself. So there's been cases where when you add a particular pedal, the volume shoots up insanely. So in a situation like this, you can either reduce the gain or the volume for the pedal that you are trying to add. So I'll put mine at 12, my gain at 12. Now when I turn it off, this particular tip can be used in cases where you simply want to color the tone or the presets, not necessarily adding gain for a solo or anything of that sort. So you can play around with the gain or the volume, and if it's a modulation effect, you can go either use the EQ, to balance this out, or if it's a modulation effect that has a volume, you can use the volume to match the tone or the color that you want to add, so that it wouldn't necessarily beef up the gain of the presets and distort what you're trying to do. So this is a very quick tip, Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.